Going live. I think we're going live.
Yeah, guys, you're live.
All right, let's crack into this. Let's take this for real. This is serious
Up,
news from Adapt
everybody.
Crypto.
Welcome to
And
Adapt Crypto. We're so excited to be here. We're so excited to have you here with us. Watching live or on a replay. Who knows what you're doing? I don't want to tell you what to do with your life.
we're
This is not
just having a bit of fun, and we've got some news for you. So it's mostly bullish, maybe a little bit of fun, but we'll see. First off, we've got a bit of news about Radix. We've got a survey done, of what people think about crypto, whether it's going to last or not. We got a legal representative that's actually taking a very good interest in cryptocurrency and giving that legal perspective. We've got a little bit of alpha, and we've got an upcoming launch, which is pretty much straight after this. So stay tuned. And Marsh, what have you got, mate?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so much news going on. It is difficult to sift through and decide what to talk about. But I got some really, really important NFT news I want to bring to you guys, and just some general special launches going on, and also our mortal enemies winning some money back, Melvin Capital. So, yeah, you're gonna want to stick around, watch this episode to the end, and possibly smash that like button. It's up to you. That's the thing about life, is that you have free will. And we can't force you to do stuff just the way nobody else in the world really can, unless they do. In which case, maybe you should call the authorities on that. But I don't know. Smash the like button and stick around. What's happening in crypto right now? Gooding.
Look, it's
Please tell me.
we've had a really good bounce recently, and like any good bounce, there's always a bit of a retracement to sort of just confirm: are we actually, is this it? Are we going to continue to the moon? But I will leave the TA to the specialist, Harry. He knows his stuff. I literally live by it, and with the information that he provides, I then make decisions for my altcoins. So, if for those who don't quite understand, what that means is that Bitcoin obviously drives the market, and I will essentially, especially for my swing trades, I will choose a time of which I will do my swing trades based on what Bitcoin's doing. Now, if I feel like Bitcoin's getting to a top, or if it's starts plummeting to the friggin', to the ground, I'll start considering, should I really be this exposed? Should I get my stables ready, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll leave that to Harry. I highly recommend that you guys focus on that and listen to the information, and do some analysis on what Bitcoin's doing. What does that mean for alts? And he's also he's mixing it up a little bit. He's producing some TA on alts, and he is taking suggestions as well. So I recommend that you guys watch his videos, provide a bit of feedback, and just shill your alt. And
Which is great. It's exciting that he's starting to do it. I think other people are excited about it as well, because a lot of expert TA types are a little I don't know, Bitcoin elitist, and they generally don't want to talk about the smaller coins with less price history. So just getting that sort of expert view on some of these newer alts, I think, is really valuable thing that we're offering. And I am also going to be watching these things. That's what I love about Adapt. Like, I don't know, we watch our own content because we are actually all sort of learning from each other, and that's bullish, I think, for me at least.
100%. We are so good that we watch ourselves.
Yeah, I mean, what else am I trying to say here? It's content worth watching. That's I guess what I'm trying to say.
All right, let's crack into a bit of news here. So we have Radix here. We've got the beta that is coming. This is significant in the Radix community. I will post a link in the Discord so you can sort of do a bit of a deep dive. But beta nets are important. It's almost like, for those who don't know, it's a confirmation. Sorry, they obviously set up their network, or whatever sort of, it sort of depends on the context, but they're going to set up their network, and then they do their stress testing or you could even look at it as a sandbox, even depending what they want to achieve with it. But this is where all those stuff that said, yeah, we did this, we're going to do this and this. The beta net is the confirmation of those dreams, right? And obviously the main net is the end goal, well, one of the end goals. But this here is, if you're I know a few members do hold radix, so this is probably a pretty important event, and if things go well, you can expect a little bit of price action. It is a little bit far away, but we like to keep you guys informed early. So you're hearing it here 2 months early, and just keep an eye out for it. Now, a
I'm
survey. Sorry, mate. Go.
Yeah, no, I'm just really curious what's going to happen with Radix because they, I don't know, they came out hard out of the gate. I feel like they get a lot of weird press from, I don't know, like joke memes on Telegram. I see a lot of people sort of making fun of Radix, and I guess it was a slightly difficult launch when their token launched. But I guess what's the deal with Radix? They can process like 11 billion transactions every second with just billions of dollars in volume or something. They're ready for
Yeah,
the extra future. I mean, I feel like
extra
I got to
future.
look into them a little more closely. But would that
Well, look,
boilerplate analysis be
look,
correct? Gooding.
11 billion transactions. That's it almost sounds excessive. It's almost like they know there's going to be an alien race coming down to the world, and they're going
Hmm.
to need to process their transactions as well. So they are thinking of the future.
Yeah,
It's
it's all
quite
those
incredible.
NFTs. There's going to be a
Yeah.
lot of NFTs being
NFTs.
processed in 3031 or whatever.
Okay, so
Anyway.
JP Morgan has done a survey for its customers. Now, it is a bit of a bias survey, because
Hmm.
it is for people who are, investor minded. But here they have gathered information that 58% people believe that crypto is here to stay. And then you have the miserable boomers. People like to blame the boomers for a lot of things, but 21% of them believe it's just going to be a flash in the pan. And don't ask me what the other, oh, actually, sorry, yeah, 11% of these. Anyway, so yeah, looking bullish for the normies. Maybe they're not aren't all crypto like minded, but things are looking good.
Yeah, I would argue that people that understand that Bitcoin is here to stay and the future and just going to dominate all of the financial system may not know the phrase "flash in the pan," and so they wouldn't describe it in that way. I think it's important with all surveys to take a grain of salt, and yeah, like you said, Gooding, these aren't just people; these are J.P. Morgan people that answer J.P. Morgan surveys. That's a specific subset, which I would say these numbers are pretty bullish for that subset. That even those boomers are really starting to jump into our bandwagon and buy our bags, which is exciting. I would say.
Now, I'm going to go into. I've talked about this guy before. He's actually really good for the space, and I feel like he gives a non-biased point of view as to, he's been talking about XRP a little bit, but in this case, he's talking about the SEC and their interpretation of cryptocurrencies. And in this one, there was an SEC confirmation hearing, which sort of, and just not for just XRP, but for the cryptocurrency space. And he just sort of flags a few things. The biggest problem in America is that there's a lot of uncertainty in the regulation, and that's why we're seeing a few of these problems. Um, and then he talks about, I think it's Gary Gensler, and the man that we all hoped he would be, pro crypto, is doesn't seem to be all that. So it gives very general bits of information. He says when he's asked those direct questions about things that you and I would want to know, he gives very sort of general answers. So I've got this in the Discord and the news channel, or you can just look him up under legal briefs. This guy is very good.
Hmm.
He's very good at explaining the legal side of things, and he believes that we're going to have a little bit of turbulence in the US with how they can transact with cryptocurrencies. And it sounds like, from his analysis, is that they're going to target the more influential people within cryptocurrency in the cryptocurrency space, and not the little man. So if you think that sounds good, it's not, because the people who are holding large amounts of cryptocurrency and sitting in those key positions, they're the ones who get targeted. So just keep that in mind. It's one to sort of follow. Gary
Hmm.
Gensler, maybe a bit of a snake in the grass. You'll be the judge, I guess. And
I
I've
mean,
got some bullish news. For some reason, I'm not on the page I want it to be. So I
Twitter.
will speak to my team about this and probably just blame it on myself anyway. So Andre Cognier dropping a bit of a hint bomb, sort of saying that founders and core contributors start posting more actively on Twitter. It normally means they've finished a milestone of some sort and are ready to release.
Um,
So here he has, I've noticed Hayden Adams post frequently, frequency increase. So
and then
he's
Hayden
asked you to please
responds,
delete.
"Please delete."
For
Nice.
those who don't know who Hayden Adams is, he's a guy that created Uniswap. And we've all been wondering, when is Uniswap version 3 going to come out?
No, it's really funny because we're all trying to figure out before people even say that something's happening that it's happening. And yeah, Andre makes a really good point here. All of these creators and other people running these crazy revolutionary companies, they are all still real people with only 24 hours a day. And it does make psychological sense that if they're working on their project, they're really, really hyper focused on that, trying to finish all of the details there. And when they get finally a little bit of breathing room, I know I'm the same way. You come home, you're like, oh man, that was a crazy day. Tweet, and that's the only time that you would be doing something like that. So yeah, spot on, I would say, from Andre about human psychology analysis. And I think everybody is desperate for a V3 from Uniswap, and they always come through. At least they always have in the past, and I don't have a doubt that they have something monster planned, just absolutely mind bending, and it's going to catch everybody by surprise,
Yeah,
or not.
yeah, exactly, mate. This is. I'm just going through his Twitter here, and he has posted quite a few times in the last. There's like 6 sort of posts there in the today, and he's got a few here yesterday. So things are looking bullish, and that's probably some of the reasons why we're seeing a lot of a big price surge in Uniswap, knowing full well that there's no huge LPs. There's Uniswap's been sort of hasn't been seeing the volume it once was. Maybe now we might sort of see it.
I'm
Sorry,
sorry. Can you scroll up real quick? Can you scroll up real quick? Does he seriously
yeah.
have 420 following and 69 followers? 420, 69. Is that really? I feel like he's possibly manipulated those numbers. That's impressive.
Do you
Impressive, Hayden
reckon? Do you
Adams.
reckon he does that? Like every time he wants to follow someone, he's going to take someone away, and then he kicks his followers.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, you could choose how many people you're following. So he obviously chose 420. But yeah, the 60. Yeah, he just kicking off new users until when that shifts to the 70. It's definitely possible. I wouldn't put
It
it
does
past
look a
him.
bit dubious, doesn't he? So maybe
Oh,
not
just like
much.
any great crypto creator. Yeah, man, there's just insanely bullish news front to back. So let me just grab this screen for
Sorry,
you real
sorry.
quick.
Just to finish off.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Straight
I was
after
going to
this.
mention this. Well, I was going to mention this
Oh
very
yeah.
important.
I'll leave it to you, man. I'll leave it to you. Go.
Very
Yeah.
important DGen news. Oh yeah, just a little highlight there for you guys.
Here's a
Yeah,
sneak peek. All scripted.
I
Okay.
think it's yeah, I think it's good just for everybody knowing that we will have. I mean, the reason this group got started, if you don't know, was just absolute degenerate gambling. We were all looking for the absolute riskiest, sketchiest plays around to make instantaneous 100x's, and yeah, we have sort of grown out of that, but I think we all are curious about those sketchy 100x's. Whether they're real projects or not, there is still pretty crazy money to be made there. But we're gonna leave that news to the end for the true heads, for the true fans, so the noobs don't get wrecked because it is very risky out there. Um, but I do want to talk about some mainstream stuff, particularly NFTs, because that's just what is happening right now. Uh, I don't know. I don't want to call it like a local top or anything with NFTs. NFTs are really in a sort of a different category because it's a different story, right? You're not pumping these NFTs to the ground. Once you own the NFT, the price is sort of stable. The only trouble that you may have is selling that NFT later. So maybe if you paid, I don't know, $300,000 for a Homer Simpson Pepe, and have trouble selling it later, that's just sort of going to be your problem. But at least you still will have the Pepe, or whatever else it is. But I think it's very auspicious, exciting to see some of these bigger publications like Bloomberg Business Week breaking down what NFTs are. A lot of things about messaging and pushing the narrative forward in any what do you call it, aspect, part of the world, is to lay out the information first so people know more about the base layer of information, so they can understand what's coming next. And I see this base layer being laid, the foundation for NFTs being laid all over the place for the normies. So this is really just sort of a generic Bloomberg Business Week article talking about the Beeple thing, what's going on with him making insane money, other people pushing out their NFTs, and really just sort of the basics around NFTs, what they are, why you should be excited about it. Here I have basically the exact same carbon copy article from CNBC. And again, this is sort of financial news. Um, it is financial news, but it is also, uh, for regular people. I think a lot more regular people see what's going on here, and that again is also very, very, very bullish, I would say. I think this Beeple thing really has blown a lot of people's mind, also because the art is pretty cool. His website is very cool. I would encourage you to actually go out and check out his formatting, his sort of presentation of his art, because I think that's what's going to really push all of this into the next phase. Is not just some randos posting some low effort art on OpenSea. It's going to be more of this actual presentational artwork, this online format. And I think Beeple's doing a great job, and he has definitely made a ton of money already off of his NFTs. But more bullish I see than him actually making money is the reporting around it, how everybody's getting so excited about the prospect of NFTs. I, I was expecting this to come a little earlier, actually. Banksy has been made into an NFT. It's a little unfortunate that Banksy himself actually didn't do this, but somebody that owned a Banksy, possibly Banksy himself, it's hard to know with these things. But somebody that owned a Banksy called Morons, which is pretty funny. It's a painting making fun of people buying stupid stuff at auctions, and he definitely is just sort of pointing the finger at them. But this art piece sold back in 2019 for just about 30K. And then apparently somebody, possibly Banksy, possibly somebody else, burned this painting and turned it into an NFT. And now that's the only way you can get this piece of art. And very importantly, all because there are a lot of fakes around Banksy, the certifying agency, which may again be Banksy himself, called Pest Control, has certified this NFT as legit and real. And it's his agency. They have certified this NFT as an actual Banksy, which again is very bullish. But I see a lot of artists that are dealing with copycats and copyright problems moving into NFTs, or at least some sort of NFT backing system, because just like with so many problems in the world of people being copied and copying others and you getting hacked, all that stuff goes away with blockchain. And I think it really is a boon for artists to just know that, yeah, that's the only version of this. It doesn't matter if it's a digital thing. It really is the only copy of X art. And I don't know, guys. This is just the beginning of this stuff. This is really just the very beginning. But I tend to get a little skittish when everything goes so mainstream like this. So, long story short, what, what do you think about all this, Gooding? What's your vibe on NFTs at the moment?
Look, there's definitely been a hype. I have talked about it quite a bit on stream, and I'll just make the point again. You try to make sure you're buying from the artist directly. Otherwise, you just the more times it's resold, obviously that price keeps, well, at the moment keeps going up, and you're potentially buying something that's already overinflated, and you run the risk of not being able to sell it. So I just want to make that point. The other one is I'm hyped for NFTs. This is really good. It's forcing people to create Ethereum addresses and get familiar with what cryptocurrency is, and it's very good for the space. Um, as for spending 6 million on an NFT, I don't know. Um, it's pretty interesting that someone destroyed their Banksy artwork and put an NFT up. That's it's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean anybody that's first movers here in the space are obviously going to be winners. Um, yeah, somebody's asking in the chat where can you go to buy NFTs? It's a very good question. There are a couple different platforms. Some of the most popular ones would be OpenSea and Rarible. It is also important to note that anybody can make an NFT if you have just a little bit of ETH gas. You can go on all of these platforms yourself, like OpenSea, Rarible. Um, yeah, 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 and also Superfarm is coming up. There will be sort of further launch platforms, and for all of these artists, I would encourage you also to go directly to the artist's page. So if you search Beeple and go to Beeple's page, you can get the links directly there. But yeah, like Beeple, it's all listed on OpenSea as well. So yeah, I would encourage you just to research, do a basic Google search on NFT platforms, because there are a couple good ones out there. But it is interesting. So many people are piling in now to these NFT platforms that they're getting overloaded very, very quickly. Yeah, before we close out this NFT thing, NFTs are going to eat the world. I swear to you, they are going to be almost everything, from real estate to tickets to everything. The list goes on, and I think what is just approaching now the threshold of awareness is audio NFTs and what's going on with audio, because most of the NFTs you can get are sort of GIFs or shorter videos and everything. And just like with art and everything else, there is a huge problem with record sales and just in general artists making any money, because these large corporations, the streaming corporations like YouTube, like Spotify, Bandcamp, they take such a huge portion of the revenue that it's become basically impossible to be an indie artist. It's more or less pointless to produce art, whether it be music or visual, unless you do have sort of millions of hits. In which case, you may make a couple $1,000s. If not, then you're really just sort of working for peanuts, and it's fun to look at those numbers. So it would spur on a whole new revolution, a renaissance in art to democratize some of this earnings a little bit. And I see that coming for audio just the same way it's coming for the rest of the art world. And it's exciting to see some artists actually getting some earnings through their popularity. So music is a polarizing subject, but if you are a fan of Kings of Leon, they are announcing their new album as an NFT. They will obviously also be dropping it on all the streaming platforms as well. But this NFT will sort of like the premium package, which has become very popular in video games, movies, all this other stuff. So if you buy the NFT, you obviously get to download it. But you also get like a cool graphic of what's going on here. I think the like value adds are still being worked out with a lot of this stuff, but yeah, you'll get the download. You'll also get a vinyl in the mail. So this NFT is sort of like a ticket for this album and all of the extra special stuff in it. And it is also important to note that this is just sort of the sale price now, $50, and you can go out and get this album. But just like with all collectibles, who knows what the original, one of the first popular NFT albums is going to be worth, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years from now. Who knows it's all speculation, obviously, and this is not financial advice. It's not financial advice. But I do see something like this, a first mover, really, really sort of taking hold, and just for the historical value of it, pushing this all forward. But I could go on forever about this kind of stuff. What do you think, Gooding? What's going to happen?
Uh, yeah, it's a good question, mate. I think NFTs will keep going up for as long as new people sort of keep coming in and bringing in new money to the space. As for the top end sort of stuff like 6 million, I don't know. I'd love to see someone resell that for a profit on top of 6 million. I don't see it happening, but we'll see.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. I mean, these headlines are exciting to have something selling for $6 million, but yeah, are you going to find another buyer after that? I guess time will tell. Um, but yeah, just as we're moving on here, there's always just so much bullish news. It's crazy. I did want to bring up the fact that Amazon Web Services, which runs basically the entire internet at this point, has announced general availability of Ethereum on Amazon managed blockchain. So you may not be like an Amazon Web Services expert, but yeah, there's a lot of different things you can do with the Amazon Web Services, running different virtual machines, obviously running your websites and hosting and all that other stuff. But now it seems like you will be able to hook in to Ethereum's APIs and connect that with the Amazon managed blockchain and run your node through this way. Or really do a bunch of other different things. This is, I guess, slightly more niche. A lot of people don't have an Ethereum node to run, much less migrate it to Amazon Web Services. But I do see this as very bullish and in support of Ethereum in general. They're right. We went through a bit of a scare with the gas prices and everybody sort of fleeing, looking for other issues, ways of doing their degenning basically. But all of the heavy players, they're always coming back to the big majors like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, and not in a financial advice kind of way. I would encourage you to not forget the fact that these big guys have been around for so long. There's been so much development on these platforms that they're not just going to evaporate over the weekend. They may go down in price a little bit, but with all of these partnerships and people buying the thing, I don't know. Just be careful of getting tricked by shiny objects coming in the future and getting you to sell all of your coins. Yeah, I could go on. Just to balance out all the happy news, I think it is important to note that there are still our enemies are still out there making money, and not everybody in this financial world is operating in your best interest, and possibly almost no one is operating in your interest in this financial world. So you really do have to sort of keep your eyes open and aware of what's going on. Everybody was so happy to hear that Melvin Capital lost $7 billion, about half of their earnings, or no, half of their portfolio. So an insane amount of money that they lost on the short squeeze. They really just sort of got wrecked, and everybody was very excited about this news. But it's sort of what happens after that doesn't get the press, that doesn't get the follow-up, which I think we at Adapt are trying to pay attention to, and I would encourage you to as well. When the headlines die down, that's when the real things get going. So everybody sort of forgot, oh, exciting, we wrecked this hedge fund. But what happened to Melvin Capital, a couple weeks later? Well, it turns out they have recovered about 22% of their portfolio, probably continuing their short after all of the press, right? So you see this chart here that GameStop went up this insane amount. They obviously got wrecked a little bit here, but who do you think was shorting on the way back down as it really sort of crashed out? Well, it might have been Melvin and a bunch of those other types. So, right, Melvin is obviously still down. They're still down 43%, which is also exciting to know that they did get wrecked a little bit. But Melvin isn't even that old of a firm. They started back in 2014, and they've been posting gains of about 30% year over year. So I don't know. It's cool they got billions of dollars, but 30% in a year, I feel like we're doing better down here in DJ and Uniswap land. I don't know. They can continue to get wrecked, but they probably won't, because they have all this money and influence, and I'm just sort of taking this as an example to continue. If you're excited about something, it's important to keep following along when nobody cares, because that would be usually the time to invest or get out or do something. Because when the laser beam is sort of focused on something, chances are, if you just do that, what's in the news, you will get wrecked. And I know this is like a live news show, but we're trying to be sort of like the anti-news, the news that you actually are supposed to be paying attention to, as opposed to what's just being talked about. Thoughts, Gooding?
Yeah, power to the people, man. 100%. Stuff them.
Power to the people. Yeah, no, screw Melvin Capital and everything that they stand for. But yeah, it's all moving forward. I could honestly go on forever. It is just a bullish world that we're living in. Yeah, I hope everybody's having a good show in the chat. It's good to see Anthony with an I and Karate Schnitzel. I feel like everybody watching the show right now could just be commenting as much as these guys, because it makes it more fun. I don't know. I don't know if you're. A lot of people don't like to comment or interact, and I think especially in these lonely times, this weird world we're living in, it really does actually make you feel good. It's not really just for us to goose the algorithm. It actually does legit make you feel good to smash that like and add a comment. If you haven't tried it, I would just encourage you to try it, and see how you feel afterwards. It's not for us. It's for you.
Speaking of Melbourne, I was just having a chuckle of the person who asked about where's the best place to buy NFTs. His name is Melvin Fish Trousers. So that's I like his
Yeah.
style.
Melvin Fish
Just
Trousers
sort
is
of,
a very good name. It's a very good YouTube username.
it's great. I love it. Are
Yeah,
we going to
man.
launch? Are we going to launch today, Marsh? That we should be watching.
Oh, well, I do want to bring this up. I mean, we are often focused on the degen space and the ultra low caps, but I did want to bring this up for any Kraken users out there, and any Ocean or Energy Web token holders today, or I guess technically yesterday. Ocean and Energy Web token has been added to Kraken. And so I do expect to see maybe a super pump initially, and probably a larger pump later, because that's just sort of the rhythm that I've seen, again, not financial advice, that happens with these new assets. There's just been so much hype, so much interest on the sort of lower landscape about Ocean. It's just an incredibly exciting, powerful project. If you haven't looked into Ocean, I would highly encourage you to see what they're up to. Just very unique what they're doing, and them being listed on Kraken. I see this Ocean getting listed on all the major exchanges over time. And Energy Web token is honestly very confusing to me, because it's a super exciting project, sort of managing the electricity grid with blockchain. People don't seem to be that hyped about it. I've noticed that, though, a bunch in crypto, when something actually has an actual real use case and a solve for a real a real world problem. I see this with like Origin Trail Track, and especially Energy Web token. The price has really just been pretty flat, but it's still a very exciting project.
I know why, Marsh.
Yeah, what's the deal, man?
Lack of memes, lack of apes. These are all the key ingredients to a good pump.
I guess that's true. I mean, some of these companies really are focused on building the product and having that be useful, right? And just getting on a launch platform, or doing some operability with some other blockchain. I don't know. Crypto can easily turn into this sort of like, I'm thinking of a word I shouldn't use, but just a circle of friends that enjoy helping each other out, let's say. And that often doesn't mean that the thing is going to actually have any use in the future. It may seem like it's getting hyped because all of their friends are talking about it. But
now that you bring that up, mate, there's a good reason for that. A lot of these project developers aren't actually project developers. They're magicians, right? They
Yeah.
they take this crypto in. They're like, "Thank you very much. You've been rewarded. and then they go poof, it's all gone, and they're like, oh yes, we said we are going to do this, but what I really meant is like, and it's like the genie from Aladdin, right? It's like you wish for
Mm.
something, uh sorry, genies in general, you wish for something but you don't quite get what you wish for. So uh that's just what happens, right? um
Yeah, I see it a little bit like Burning Man or any sort of other sort of art installation. You can build up this giant structure and it's very complicated, and this thing is talking to this thing and there's a partnership here and we all talk to each other like, oh man, we're all gonna work together on this. But it really is just all sort of a performance. It's all smoke and mirrors, and not to say that you can't get rich off these performances, but it is, I think, important if you're in this game to distinguish between what is a performance art coin and what may actually end up being part of the global infrastructure for generations to come. I don't want to say it's energy web token, but they definitely are sort of a first mover in the energy management system. And with things like Texas grid going down and all these other problems happening with the grid, it can get hacked by whoever. It's all that narrative building, and I see that is very bullish for these tokens, like Energy Web Token. Yeah, solar energy is coming up. There's just so many changes happening real world, and I think when we're in the blockchain land, it's easy to just sort of cover our eyes to what's happening out there in the real world because we're just, oh, this guy's got a partnership. Do you got a partnership with a partnership? Hey, I got a partnership for my partnership.
or even better, they use each
It's like
other's
a layer
products
two.
and they're like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm using Chainlink, but it's a partnership, lol. And then they do, their amazing sort of, image there, yeah, like of them shaking hands. Yeah, we've really sold, yeah, sealed a real partnership here, guys, but they're really just using Chainlink's product, right? So you
Yeah.
got to really analyze what is, just because they do an image or an animation of a of the product, doesn't actually mean that they're actually partnered in a traditional sense.
Yeah, it's important to really, I mean, they say it all the time, do your own research, but a lot of times it's really easy to fake, yeah, not fake, but there's a layer two of partnerships, right? Where like a lot of coins these days are saying, "Oh, I'm Polka Starter. I'm so Polka Starter, guys. Did you know about Polkadot? I'm a Polkadot." But then you look into the project and they have zero plans. They have zero development team that is interested in Substrate. If you're looking at a Polkadot project, for example, they don't talk about the Web3 Foundation, they don't talk about Substrate, and you don't see them on the Polkadot Node.js, then I would question their motives and whether they're really planning on moving to Polkadot in any meaningful way, because it's actually coming sooner than you think. And if your project hasn't got started on their Substrate development, then I don't know how serious you are about Polkadot. The same way, I don't know, I could start a Chainlink cooperation right now. I could post that I'm working with Chainlink, but really I just
Even
want
better,
their
mate.
API.
There's an even better partnership, and that's the partnered with CoinGecko after they've listed.
Sorry. Yeah, no, it's just,
So
yeah.
there's what I love about the space. It's so innovative.
I guess if you're not into crypto, then you might not know what that means. But it's like, yeah, we partner with CoinGecko, we partner with CoinMarketCap. We've
It's
just
like
announced.
you go down, and to put it in give you an analogy. It's like you go down to the shops and you buy some Coca-Cola from your local Woolworths. You've just partnered with Coca-Cola and Woolworths in one
Yeah,
swift move.
yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Exactly. Man, I have so many partners in my house right now. Who am I? I'm partnered with Apple. I'm part with M Audio. Yeah. It's really easy to get partnerships and build your world out here. Yeah, I guess all to say, don't listen to us, don't listen to anybody out there. Just do your own research, because oftentimes people are telling you literally the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing, or literally the opposite of what their company actually does. It is all just smoke and mirrors. Um, yeah, but before all that being said, I did want to bring up some smoke and mirrors here. Actually, do you have that tab up with
Yield.
the yield watch? Because all jokes aside, I mean, you got to watch out for the scams, you got to watch out for the fake things. But I honestly appreciate some good scam project, some real high quality art. I'm not saying this is a scam project,
No, it's
but
it's actually not. This is actually a really good project. But I do get what you're saying. There's some very iffy projects on Binance Smart Share, and if you wanna, there we go. Um, and yeah, some of them are quite are very shifty, right? It's like I forget one.
yeah,
It was
there's a lot of sketchy
syrup,
stuff.
but this
There's a
is
lot of
good.
sketchy
I
stuff going on, yeah, on Pancake Swap. So I think it isn't easy to say like, oh, everything going on Binance Smart Chain right now is a total scam. But that's not true. There is infrastructure being built. There are important projects. So yeah,
and
tell us about Yield Watch.
this one I'm very bullish on. It is going to be your little helper to sort of analyze your own portfolio. And what I really do like, and this one, it's so, and I can't believe there isn't somebody hasn't thought of this already. And I've
Mm,
tried Chartex, I've tried Astro Tools.
yeah, doesn't
They're
work.
just they're not up to date with like the
Yeah.
launching tokens, and this is really bad news within the space. They need to have this. So the one
Mm.
I'm really excited about is the real time price refresh. Historical, yeah, cool. Individual transaction overview. I think that's really good. Different base currency. So if you want to know how much your BNB is worth, or how much your watch token's worth, or whatever your portfolio is, it's got a portfolio manager. You can connect your wallets. What else they got? Oh, they got beach mode. Hello. Yeah, these are the big ticket items. Um, Inactive farms. That's good. I think they sort of I don't know how to analyze that information, but I think it's good because you can either stay away from the inactive farms, or you can find the farms that aren't getting haven't been
Mm.
really found as that might pay higher APYs because there's less people in them, right? Usage of graphs. Oh, thank God. And you need a graph for trades. It's you need this stuff. But anyway, we need the more info. We've seen Ethereum. It's got all the infrastructural projects. Binance Smart Chain. Uh, it
It's got
it doesn't
nothing.
have it, and these first movers are going to get in there nice and early. Now, for those who are interested in this project, if you go to Pancake Swap, you can bring up IFO platform. I'll even do it for you right now. So I'll sort of explain it for you.
Yeah, I think it is important to talk about this because it is a new format. I think a
Mm.
lot of people missed out on Barry that did like a 30x because they didn't quite understand what the IFO is. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
you break
it's
it
an
down.
interesting concept, and I highly recommend that you sort
Oh,
of.
there's only 47 minutes left. Oh
Now that's
shoot.
for that's for the
Oh
IFO.
yeah, until it
So if you go
starts.
to
Until it
Pancake
starts.
Swap, you go to the left here IFO, and you can sort of. I think you need to sort of go through. You need to first go to liquidity, and you need to be able to create the liquidity tokens for those who are new. My dog's saying g'day, and then you add liquidity, and you got to make sure you put in the damn. And then
But
you
it's
need to
important
put
to
in.
note the coin doesn't exist yet, so you're adding BNB cake liquidity, right?
Not quite, because in a second you'll
Mm-hmm.
be able to buy. Oh, actually, no, you could be right. I haven't actually read the news, so I do apologize.
Yeah, no, I was
Um,
looking at this yesterday because the token itself isn't out yet. So if you want to be the first one with these tokens in your wallet, you have to provide a liquidity. You have to give them a liquidity token. Yeah, if you've never done yield farming, then I don't know if this should be your first move, but that's sort of how yield farming works in general. You give somebody else your liquidity token, and they give you their tokens back in return. And sometimes they could be insane APYs of like a million. I think I saw 3 million 3 million% APY on Yoda
I've
the
seen
other
it
day.
in the billions.
Yeah, a
Yeah, this
billion
really is.
APY. Yeah.
This is a degenerative space, right? Because you got to question how sustainable is this? Is this going to last days? Or is
Yeah.
this going to last seconds? It's most likely going to be seconds. But essentially, when the token, you're meant to, you get your BNB, you get your cake, you go to IFO, and here you will, once you have your wallet unlocked, I'm getting some awesome warning. Connect, and then you provide your liquidity, and for your liquidity, you leave it in there for about an hour. Usually you have to sort of, every time can change, and then at the end of that you'll be rewarded with tokens. Now about 1 hour and 50 minutes, or last time I checked, or maybe it's 45 minutes now, that's when they release the token, and then you can start trading
45
it.
minutes from now. Guys, this is like real alpha. If you weren't aware of this launch happening, Providing liquidity is very difficult with the whole impermanent loss thing and the insane APYs, the farming the tokens. Oftentimes, you are just way too slow and late to be actually profiting off of any of this. But we're giving you 45 minutes heads up right now. If you get in there and hopefully get out pretty quickly, then you can actually make a decent profit from this. Again, not financial advice. This is so not financial advice.
Yeah, and for those who might be a little bit new to the space, you can go to our channel and you can go to, there's a learning to adapt segment, and it's right here. I've done a video for you guys to, if you want to learn how to set up a Binance Smart Chain wallet, if you want to set up your MetaMask, so it's can be interactive with the Binance Smart Chain, and I also give you a little few tips, hints, and tips, and that. Um, it should be your one-stop shop. Let me know if I've missed anything. You can abuse me in the comments if you want, but it's all there. Learning to adapt to crypto, and that'll sort of give you the guide that you guys need to be able to get on these, these plays on the Binance Smart Chain.
Yeah, no, yeah, again, not financial advice, but that is happening in 45 minutes. I would encourage you to check it out. But yeah, degens only. If you don't know what liquidity providing is or impermanent loss, then I would read that first before diving into something like this. Advanced users only, and you may still get wrecked even if you are an advanced user.
You're advanced at getting wrecked.
Some of us are advanced to getting wrecked. I was studying other people's wallets. I was looking through other people's wallets yesterday, and I was like, "Where are all your scam coins? Like, why don't you have 500 different scam coins in your wallet that you can't get rid of? What's wrong with you, or what's wrong with me?"
Do you even DJ?
Yeah, exactly.
Questionable. Questionable.
So I mean, that's about all I got
That's all I've got.
personally.
No worries. Thank you very much for
Um,
joining in, you guys. We will see you tomorrow with bullish news. I will be hanging around for this launch, and I will be getting my ape on. I do
oh,
need to
it's
analyze the
happening.
tokenomics just a little bit, and obviously, I do want to be testing out their product as well, because that is really what sort of determines whether it's a hold or not. These they're promising a lot, but are they delivering a lot? That's the question. And
Hmm.
let's see. Anyway, I'll catch you later. See you in the Telegram. Might do something in the Discord if you want to join us there. See you later.
We appreciate you guys.
Yes, we appreciate you a lot.